is not. Just like jealousy and envy is confused, they're different. So compassion is really empathy in action. So so compassion is when you see somebody, when you see suffering, it motivates you to relieve that suffering. Amen?
Amen.
And so compassion is not, you're not going to find yourself aggravated or angry or upset or whatever in compassion, because when you see it, it makes you want to move different. It makes you want to respond differently. Amen? And so I began to ask the Lord, I'm like, okay, so what does compassion look like? Like, what does it look like? What does suffering look like, right? Because you have to understand what suffering is to even understand the need for compassion. Amen? So I had to really dig into that thing. And so the Bible tells us, look, get you some wisdom, but in all your getting, get some understanding, right? So let us get some understanding together. Amen? So we're going to start off, what does suffering look like? Amen? So have you ever heard that saying, hurt people? Hurt people? Right. Well, when people are hurting, y'all, that's suffering, right? And oftentimes, hurt is not resolved. A lot of people are walking around with unresolved hurt. So the hurt's still there, right? The suffering is still there. You're suffering in silence, amen? And so what happens is it manifests itself in different ways, right? So when we're able to look at suffering from that vantage point, you're able to understand that suffering, it manifests itself in different ways, amen? So suffering, it could suffering looks like abuse, right? Whether it's spousal abuse, child abuse, especially when it comes to like neglect or mental. They say mental abuse is worse than physical. I ain't never had the physical, so I can't speak on it, but I can understand the sentiment that mental abuse can be far worse than physical abuse, like, okay?
Yes.
And then suffering, we're talking about what suffering looks like, right? So suffering also looks like that bully, right? Looks like that bully in school. Looks like that bully on your job. Bullies do graduate from school and they get jobs. So bullies are on the job, okay? They're there. And I'm gonna blow your mind with this one. Bullies are in the church.
Amen.
Yes, they do. They just they're spiritual bullies. That's a whole nother message. Not for today. Okay? But suffering looks like bullies. Suffering also looks like the alcoholic and the drug addict. We call them alkies and druggies. You know, the one that shows up at your barbecues and your family reunions, and when you see them coming, you're like, oh, either this gonna go left real fast, or we finna have a knee slapping, hee-haw laughing good time. You got some alcoholics that's fun, and then you got some, they just wanna come in and go for those. It's like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're gonna get, right? I don't know about y'all, but I know about my family. That's how it was, you know.
Amen.
So also, we still talk about what does suffering look like? It looks like promiscuity, right?
Yeah.
That woman that's walking around here busting up households. So the saints called say they lay it low and they spread it wide. Is that one, amen.
Amen.
And it also looks like insecurity, right? It's the armor that is put up, the walls that I put up, and so that when suffering looks like insecurity, a lot of times it's labeled as being unapproachable, being antisocial, weird, stuck up and sedity. You know how many insecure people have actually been labeled stuck up and sedity? It's real. It happens. So when we look at that and we understand, okay, this is what suffering looks like. When we're approached with that, how are we going to respond, right? Are we going to respond like what I said, the label, oh, well, they're going that whole record, you know, leave him alone, they are lost cause? Or are we going to look at them and be like, oh, they're weird, they're unapproachable, put them over there in the unapproachable committee, just set them over there, we don't want to deal with them, they're weird, right? Or are we going to respond with compassion? Amen? So then it's like, okay, Lord, what does compassion look like? Amen? Because the Bible tells us that we are supposed to clothe ourselves in compassion. Not just that, but he actually crowned us with compassion. He said, I have redeemed you from the pit, and I crowned you with love and compassion. Amen? So it's in our vocabulary, right? But in our getting wisdom, did we get understanding of what compassion truly is and what it actually looks like? Amen? So, we're going to talk about what compassion looks like, what it looks like. It looks compassion looks like healing, right?
Yeah.
Compassion looks like healing. Whether it's the blind man or the woman with the issue of blood, it's the unpopular choice, right? Because compassion is the move. You're moving. It's the unpopular choice. You know what Jesus was? They wanted to kill him because he delivered, set free. That's why on the day that folks didn't think he was supposed to do it. That's really why they wanted his life.
Yeah.
So compassion is that unpopular choice. It looks like healing. Amen. Compassion also looks like taking a stand. You being the only one to take a stand against that bully, against that hypocrite. Did he not say, he who has not sinned, cast the first stone? Right? Y'all know that story, because she was a woman that had many husbands, but she was never a wife, she was never married. So y'all connect that dot, okay? I'm gonna let y'all connect that dot, all right? Compassion also looks like forgiveness, amen? It says, have mercy on me, O God, according to your unfailing love. Have compassion and blot out my transgressions. That's in Psalms. It looks like restoration. Amen. We still talk about what compassion looks like. It looks like life. Amen. It says, have compassion on me, O Lord, that I shall live. And that abundantly. I threw that one in there. Amen. But you'll find that in Psalms as well. So in all of our getting, while the getting is good, let's get the understanding of this one.
Yes.
Compassion is us. It's you. It's me. How do I know? Because he said, it's by my mercies you have not been consumed.
Yes.
For his compassion fails not. Y'all, compassion didn't turn us over to a reprobated mind.
Come on.
Yes. Compassion didn't allow us to be the prostitute on the street or to continue to be the homeowner.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
What saved up like this all the time.
Yes.
Amen. He didn't allow us to continue to be that homeowner. Amen. Compassion didn't allow us to be the alkie or the druggie at the barbecue, turning up and flipping it around. Amen. Compassion said no to divorce. Compassion does not give us what we want, when we want it, because it can see ahead.
Yes.
A friend of mine got passed up for a huge promotion. She was so upset. We were all confused. Like, even management, we were like, you didn't see that happen. So you try to make them feel better, but as we walking back to our desk, we're like, dang, they did her dirty. You know, like, how should I get that? But a little ways, not even a long ways, a little ways down the road, that department got gunned down by a disgruntled employee. On the news, we talk about compassion. Amen. Compassion is Matthew 9:36. When you see the confused, you see the helpless like sheep without a shepherd. And you say the harvest is ripe, but the workers of you, Lord, Father, send the workers. Amen.
Amen.
Compassion says, go and make disciples. Oh, how about this? Greater works you shall do. How do I know? Because I've given you authority to trample all these serpents. Amen. Amen. He's given us authority. Compassion says, I'm not leaving you down here by yourself. I know what's running around down here. I was coached over that duck a long time ago. So I know what's running down here. But I'm not leaving you down here by yourself. I'm sending a comforter. Amen. Amen. Compassion is not by might. It's not by power. But it's by his spirit. Amen. You ain't even got to get dirty in this life. You know what I'm saying? All we got to do is sit back and trust in the Lord. Amen. So compassion, look, why are we getting the understanding? Why the understanding is getting good. Listen, understand this. Compassion is the blood that was shed on the cross. It's the blood that was shed. Y'all, compassion was the blood that was shed on the cross because that made y'all a no way situation. No way is just as final as death. It's no way situation. It's like when you think about it, it was a no way situation he took. And he turned it into this. What you see, what I'm looking at. If you look to your left and you look to your right, if somebody's sitting next to you, compassion is me, is you. The Bible said, glory be to God the Father of Jesus Christ, the Father of compassion and the God of all comfort. Y'all, we're his children.
Yes.
He's our Father. We are